So for my film Hollywood, I'm sorry. I'm here with Jonathan Baker at his house on Oscars night while I'm off the red carpet. And my question is, why do you have a Lego Oscar?
Lego Oscar it's as creative as the real Oscar. It's when I get the real Oscar, the Lego Oscar will go right next to the real Oscar. Here's the deal. Oscars are about creativity. They're about getting something to give something. If I ever won an Oscar, the speech would be about all the people that were sitting in front of me that inspired me, not necessarily about the Oscar itself. And so for that reason, that's why I do this party every year, because I believe in old Hollywood, I believe in creativity. I believe that the whole idea of Oscar is about story, telling stories about stories and being appreciated telling those stories. And so if you can't have the real thing, the next best thing is the Lego Oscar. And I look at it and I believe it's the same thing as a real Oscar. You allowed me to touch your Oscar. I think that's an amazing thing to be able to look at the two and feel the same way. And for that, you take that Oscar and you spread a lot of joy with it, I can tell. And thank you.
I had a great time with the Oscar. Ironically enough, or coincidentally enough, I made the very first Lego Star Wars movie, frame by frame. Legos.
Really?
Yeah. Every year I get a brick film certificate for making the very first Star Wars Lego film. I'll send you that too.
I like to see that. I'm interested in seeing the documentary about the 12 Oscars that kind of lost their way from the factory to Hollywood. I think that's a brilliant story in itself. It's like the hobos learning how to play blues on the train on the way from New Orleans to Memphis.
So there's 55 Oscars, and 18 of them are missing.
You have 3.
I took one of them, and now I got some more, this is not going to make it on the air, so this part right here. Oh. But maybe it is. Maybe this is in the bloopers.
I'm joking.
Maybe this
I'm
is in
joking.
the bloopers.
It's okay.
But there's 18 of them out there still. And I interviewed the attorneys for the Oscars, by the way, Bruce Davis, like I mentioned earlier, and the other past president. So I've done some major research, some major Ron Howard I got as well. I bought a giant Oscar, by the way, 9 foot by 6 foot. A flying Oscar. It was giant. I found it at an antique store, and I was going to jump it with Tom Cruise. I'm a skydiver. I was going to jump it,
wow.
And he agreed to it right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and the giant Oscar got dead. But I have footage of me putting this giant Oscar in a plane to test everything. So a lot of the onion peel keeps coming off, right?
I just have to believe that where we are today with the Oscars is at a finite place. We're about to end an era because there's no such thing as movies anymore. They're called limited series, and what movies are out there are really just Superman, Batman, Avengers, Spider-Man. So when you can tell a story, it's pretty rare today.
Yeah.
I feel so privileged because today is Oscar Day, and 97th Oscar, by the way. And my movie will be out in February, and it's the last of its kind. It's Last of the Mohican. It tells the story of something of yesteryear, and I think humanity is going to really love it for the effort that I put in. And hopefully they'll all appreciate me for being the filmmaker that I believe I am. Hey, if Sean Baker can win for a Nora, I don't know what to say. Anybody, because that's an independent movie, not a studio movie. And
he made it for $6 million.
Yep, and 17 days.
Wow.
And so good for him. And good for him, and good for the Oscars. And at the end of the day, I hope that in our lifetime, that Oscar always holds its true value of being Hollywood, being yesteryear, being glamorous, and representing a creative reset every year to the greatest of the greatest.
I want you to know that I made this film. It's also a love letter to Hollywood and the Oscars. It's a big I'm sorry. It's called Hollywood I'm Sorry, because I just wanted to feel what it felt like.
I love that. I don't even want to know what it feels like. I just want to know that, as a white, older man, that we can still be celebrated. Because today, there's a lot of frequency that's not about storytelling. And I want it to be about storytelling. And I want to be appreciated for storytelling. And I want you to be appreciated for storytelling. It's a lot harder said than done.
So my new producer for Hollywood I'm Sorry, Jonathan Baker. Here we go. This is serendipitous. It's kind of like coincidental. I get invited and meet you, and I need help. I really need help.
Everybody needs help. Trust me, I need help.
And I'm asking for help. Well, I
Everybody
need more
needs
help than you.
Okay, well, you come over and we'll have lunch and we'll talk about help.
Sounds good. Dude, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for having me over at your house. Your
Thanks for the
exquisite
Oscar.
house. It's amazing, and you got awesome friends, and it's been an awesome time so far.
You can leave the Oscar if you want.
You want me to leave it?
If you left it, I would.
No, wait. I'll leave it as a form of trust about us putting this movie out. Ooh.
You leave it, and I'll find a way to put your movie out.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Deal. Look at
All
deal.
right,
So
all
here
right,
we go.
okay,
She's gonna help me. I'm gonna leave the Oscar here.
Okay. All right.
That's my down payment right there.
That's the only payment I need.
Oh. Okay.
All right.